name is Lorna Finnegan, and I am the Dean of the Marcella Niehoff School of Nursing. I'm so pleased to be with you today to celebrate your commencement and offer you congratulations on behalf of the School of Nursing faculty and staff and the entire Loyola University Chicago community. While that is a typical and heartfelt greeting, your accomplishments in these times are anything but typical. Both are extraordinary. Many of you have received honors for your academic and professional accomplishments. You have made us and will continue to make us very proud. All of your accomplishments take on even greater significance this year, as a once-in-a-century pandemic is altering the way we live, study, and work and share times with friends and family. You adapted to online learning, transformed your physical community of friends, professors, and other Loyolans to strong and ever-present virtual communities, and you did that all within about 6 weeks. While commencement and similar transitions can be a time of reflection and anticipation, this afternoon, those feelings may be magnified. We find ourselves living in a world that would have been hard for us to comprehend or even imagine a couple of months ago, let alone when you began your educational journey at Loyola University Chicago. For me, it's still hard to comprehend. Perhaps that's what you're feeling today as you transition to your new roles as registered nurses, advanced practice nurses, nursing leaders, and scientists. And as you reflect on commencement, remember that while it seems like an ending, it is indeed a beginning. Wherever you find yourself during this period of transition, and as you encounter other transitions in your life, I want to share with you the 4 pillars of heroic leadership that may provide some comfort and direction to you as leaders in nursing and healthcare: self-awareness, ingenuity, love, and heroism. Ignatian spirituality teaches us to reflect on what we have done and what we are doing and what we will do. Self-awareness is a lifelong skill that you will continue to practice. Through deliberate reflection, we can achieve greater self-awareness. Ingenuity, thinking differently, adaptability, flexibility, all of these ways of being will serve you well as you navigate uncharted waters in your personal and professional life through the immediate future and beyond. Love is the guiding vision that will sustain you in seeing value in others and engaging them with a positive, loving attitude. Empathy, walking in another's shoes, are ways of demonstrating love, as are acts of kindness. Heroism. You can interpret heroism in many ways. Many of you are now working, caring, and healing on the front lines of the pandemic. Many of you may be called to work on the front lines in the future. You are our heroes. These concepts, self-awareness, ingenuity, love, and heroism, are second nature to Loyola nurses. They have guided you through your Loyola journey and will continue to guide you throughout your life. I encourage you to continue to use these 4 pillars of heroic leadership to build a culture of health and reduce health disparities. As nurses, we know that health depends largely on what happens outside of healthcare settings. Florence Nightingale and Lillian Wald were trailblazers who addressed social determinants of health long before our times. This pandemic strikes at a critical point as we address ongoing epidemics, such as the opioid crisis, suicide, and other mental health issues. As nurses, we can and we must leverage our advocacy skills to improve the health of these vulnerable populations. As a profession, we need to use the strength of our collective voice to end the pandemic of racism. Racism contributes to lifelong constraints for people of color, health disparities, educational, social, and economic inequality, death from police violence, and many other injustices. In Chicago alone, 70% of coronavirus deaths are among Blacks. We will not remain silent. Over the coming year and beyond at Loyola Nursing, we will work together to strengthen and support initiatives, partnerships, policies, and a culture that reflects diversity, equity, inclusion, and anti-racism in everything we do. During this year of the nurse, and with the challenges of COVID-19, health disparities, and racial inequity, I cannot think of a better time to be a nurse. Well, I look forward to welcoming you back to campus and working with you as a member of the Loyola Nursing alumni community. You have the tools you need to succeed. Now it's up to you to go forth and set the world on fire. Congratulations. I would now like to invite our student speaker, Renee Winowski, to share a message with the class of 2020.
Good afternoon, President Rooney, Provost Grivats, Dean Finnegan, faculty, staff, students, family, friends, and all of my fellow graduates in the class of 2020. Welcome to commencement. I am truly honored to speak at this commencement ceremony. My name is Renee Winowski, and I am a DNP graduate, but I am also an alumnus as I graduated from Loyola with my MSN in 2011. I want to take a moment to thank the faculty and staff that have been such an integral part of our time here at Loyola. Thank you for your guidance, patience, and commitment to us. It is just as important to thank our family members, friends, and loved ones who have supported and loved us throughout this process. For many of you, these wonderful people have, on countless occasions, listen to you when you weren't sure how you would make it through your program, when you didn't do as well on an exam as you would have liked to, when you felt like you had absolutely no idea what you were doing, or when you questioned why you went into this program in the first place. One of the things I love so much about Loyola is how evident it is that ethical behavior and commitment to others are necessary values of not only the university, but of the students here. These values, amongst others, are woven throughout our classes and provide a framework in which to conduct ourselves. You are all here as graduates from programs centered around helping others. The professions we have chosen demand a certain level of commitment, sacrifice, behavior, and empathy. You do not go into healthcare to have an easy job. In this field, there will be times when you won't know what to do or how to react to a situation. For the ABSN and BSN students, this is akin to those exam questions that probably make you kind of queasy. Select all that apply, or how about all of these answers are correct, but choose the most correct answer. Although those questions may bring back unpleasant memories for you, they really do reflect some of the situations you will face as a nurse. There are going to be times when you are challenged and must use the values and knowledge you have learned to choose the best course of action for your patient. Of all things, remember that you are the patient's advocate, and your commitment is to help them during a very vulnerable time in their life. It is also important to remember that if you are in a situation and aren't sure what to do, if all else fails, it is not best to guess C in hopes that you will get it right. So once you pass the NCLEX and are practicing as a nurse, remember to ask for help when you need it. Admit when you do not know something. Do things the right way, even if it takes just a little bit longer. Help your teammates when you can. And do not be afraid to ask for help and ask questions in order to protect your patient. For the MSN students, you're about to embark on a very different side of nursing, whether it is an administrative or clinical role. From my experience as an APRN, the commitment to issues of social responsibility and justice are prominent in this area of nursing. You are asked to see nursing care with a different set of eyes, one that requires care of and commitment to the patient, but also an understanding of the needs of the staff you may manage, the students you may teach, or the organization you will work in. You have a unique opportunity to impact the nursing profession differently than before. When you first started out as a nurse, you were a novice. With time, however, you gained knowledge and experience that helped you grow into an expert. Remember that as you transition into this new role, you will be a novice again. and that is completely okay. Do not be too hard on yourself. You will not know everything, and to be honest, no one ever does. We are constantly learning and growing. That is what makes this profession so great. Above all, don't ever forget that you are and always will be a nurse. For the nursing doctoral students, well, here we are. I am sure most of you, much like myself, never thought this day would come. I still remember the first time I opened Sakai to review the material for our first semester. I was sitting on my patio with my laptop, peacefully reading through the information. At that time, I was full of energy, ambition, and excitement about this big step. Now, I'm mostly full of caffeine, a sprinkle of anxiety, and a lot of fatigue. With that being said, though, it was worth it. As a doctorally prepared nurse, we are given the opportunity to use our knowledge, experience, and skills to change the trajectory of healthcare, whether that is by creating new research, implementing evidence into practice, entering the world of academia, pursuing administrative roles, or participating in quality improvement projects at our institutions. Whatever it is that you plan to do, you are ready. And I know without a doubt that you will do amazing work. I want to say something specifically to my DNP cohort. You are an extraordinary group of people, and I am truly honored to have been on this journey with all of you. I wish you all the absolute best in everything that you do. As we embark on the next phase of our lives, remember that Loyola University Chicago has prepared us well. We have the tools we need to tackle what is ahead. To be a nurse at any level requires you to care and have a desire to make a difference, even if it's a small one. You have the choice in the work you do and how you do it. You have a choice in the way you care for and treat others. As J.R.R. Tolkien wrote, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. So, use your time in whatever role you pursue to help those who need it and to leave things just a little better than you found them. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it. I would now like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Linda Burns Bolton, to share a message with the class of 2020.
Good afternoon to each of you and your loved ones. It is my pleasure to provide brief remarks that I hope will inspire you as you begin your careers and help you to achieve everything that you want to achieve professionally. Congratulations to the graduates and to the outstanding faculty and staff of Loyola University. To the parents and family members, I hope you will celebrate with the graduates and join the faculty and staff as we acknowledge their achievements today and in the future. My remarks will be brief, but I hope you will walk away feeling inspired to do more to care for all. That's the essence of equity. So choose to be equitable. Darcy Graves from the Office of Minority Health at the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services stated in 2019 that equity is a fundamental part of quality. I agree. It is essential that we work towards achieving health equity for all. What does that mean? We must go beyond competency training and the stratification of clinical performance. We must commit to the creation of a culture of equity. The implementation of quality improvement processes must underlie all dimensions of quality. It is essential that we make equity an integral part of quality. We must design interventions aimed at improving health outcomes with an equity lens. We must implement, evaluate, and adjust interventions continuously. We must retain and sustain interventions that are effective and discard those that are not as effective. We don't tend to do that as quickly as we should. We must provide health and social services that are equitable for all. This will require that we commit to closing the health disparities gaps that exist in our nation and around the world. The Institute for Healthcare Improvement identified the following framework to achieve health equity for the populace. First, we must commit to making health equity a strategic priority. Second, we must develop structures and processes to support our efforts to achieve health equity for all. Third, we must develop specific strategies to address the multiple determinants of health so that healthcare organizations and professionals can have a direct impact on the delivery of services and healthy behaviors. Fourth, we must commit to the elimination of institutional racism. There, I said it. It exists. Anyone who thinks it doesn't exist has their head in the sand. Fifth, we must partner with community organizations to improve health and ensure that the provision of equitable health and social welfare services exists in our country. Health equity, as defined by the Kaiser Family Foundation, is the absence of avoidable, unfair, or remediable differences among groups of people, whether groups are defined socially, economically, geographically, or by other means of stratification. We must commit, as stated by Professor Margaret Whitehead of the World Health Organization, Collaborating Center for Policy Research, to work to assure that all individuals have a fair opportunity to attain their health potential and no one is disadvantaged from achieving their health potential. It is my hope that each of you will use your education to be of assistance to others. As members of the social and health professions, I urge you to commit to achieving health equity for all. Commit to fair and just health practices. Commit to the education of health professionals about the value of health equity for all. Support public policies that are actionable. Support programs to close the gaps in health care for all people. Adopt and support programs that are respectable and inclusive of all people. Foster and support the use of cultural reference in design and implementation of health and social services. We must be willing to call the circle, invite diverse voices to the table, and be willing to be open to others as we seek to achieve health equity for all. We must be willing to call out and speak out about unequitable services for all people. We must, as committed members of society, insist that all should have equal opportunity to attain and sustain health throughout their life. As we close out the WHO Year of the Nurse and Midwife, let us commit to the provision of equitable health care for all. As learned members of society, I urge you, I beg you, to stand up and demand that healthcare services be provided to all and for all people in the world. Congratulations on your achievements, and I know you will be successful. I look forward to learning about your contributions as members of the health and social services. Thank you very much.
We would now like to recognize the 2020 graduates from the Marcella Niehoff School of Nursing.
I would now like to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice. Tracy Steinke Abraham, dissertation title, Improving Influenza Vaccination Rates in Low Socioeconomic African American Pregnant Women, an interprofessional approach to increasing vaccination rates. Susan Marie Bednar, dissertation title, Call, Don't Fall, Multidisciplinary Fall Risk Identification and Prevention Program in the Emergency Department. Angela Ferguson, dissertation title, Guidelines for the Care of Chronic Opioid Users with the Help of a Clinical Decision Support Tool. Chandra L. Farrell, dissertation title, Advanced Care Planning Conversations in the African American Church. Kristen Forsyth, dissertation title, Evidence-Based Home Exercise Program for Intermittent Claudication, a Quality Improvement Project. Gail Greiner Weinstein, dissertation title, Implementing an Interprofessional Human Trafficking Program in the Emergency Department, an Evidence-Based Quality Improvement Initiative. Joan Holden, dissertation title, Implementation of a Screening, Brief Intervention, and Referral to Treatment Program by Nurses for College Students who use electronic cigarettes. Pansy Lernchan, dissertation title, simplifying the process to improve staff adherence to implement a hospital-acquired pneumonia prevention bundle, a quality improvement project. Tricia Littig, dissertation title, Implementation of an evidence-based initiative to preemptively prevent intradialytic hypotensive episodes during hemodialysis. Jovi Ann Sellis-Myers, dissertation title, Non-Pharmacologic Sleep Bundle in the Intensive Care Unit. Olga Seletska, dissertation title, Implementation of the 5 A's of Obesity Management, Standardizing Care in a Primary Care Family Practice. Lene Laureen Samuelson, dissertation title, Intimate Partner Violence Screening in a College Wellness Center. Caroline Ayodele Shoyemi, dissertation title, Enhanced Barrier Precautions in Long-Term Care. Sally Walton, dissertation title, Does Interprofessional Safety Event Feedback Impact Reporting and Safety Culture in the Adult Intensive Care Units? Renea Christine Winowski, dissertation title, Reducing Heart Failure Readmissions with the Utilization of an Evidence-Based Practice Protocol Bundle. I would now like to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science Nursing. Ivy Chainemiram Akpotu. Haley Lynn Banks. Catherine Sukanek Barta. Stacy Ann Karen. Morgan Elizabeth Carpenter. Candice Noel Ciencio. Catherine Elizabeth Coughlin. Irma Correa. Danielle Nicole Cummings. Megan Donahue. Jacqueline Marie Erickson. Sarah Finesmith. Lindsay Fox. Evelyn Galanitis. Jenna Maja Gartz. Jared Siek Georgikakis. Christine Gleason. Catherine E. Gotts. Ashley Ann Gregg. Rachel Rebecca Henke. Kelsey Lynn Henneberry. Catherine Elise Hickey. Kiera Brittany Hobbs. Madeline Suzanne Hoffman. Jennifer Ann Harabal. Anil K. Innocentini. Nusha Silas Jackson. Michelle Summer Jones. Michelle Eileen Jordan. Amy Lynn Juka. Caitlin Lawson Calnett. Elizabeth Corrales, Brandon Lynn Kentop, Rebecca Nabenshoe, Tanya Magda Elena Cornelson, Christine Bridget Lawler, Michelle Anita Lae, Jennifer Lee, Magdalene Lenchowski, Catherine F. McKenna, Megan Carol McLucky, Stephanie L. Mickley, Sarah Mytasic, Elizabeth Jeanette Miwa, Laura M. Mostow, Colleen Nash, Jacqueline Marie Nichols, Devin Lee Novak, Mayawa Ogun Fawoken, Devin O'Neill, Pretty Patel, Compton Nathaniel Paul, Diana Polowski, Yasmin Azucena Pecoraro, Debbie C. Perez, Laura Phillips, Natalie A. Plasman, Laura June Prestige, Jennifer Marie Richter, Kimberly Ann Rossi, Samantha Ray Saltzman, Diana I. Sandoval, Madison Schaefer, Sarah Schussler, Heather R. Siddons, Allison Jean Simek, Monica Sitko, Cassie Ann Saltwedel, Nicole Sylvia, Alana Donovan Telfer, Lindsay Ann Traeger, Aurora Lynn Trinka, Nicole Timon, Brittany M. Tyson, Melissa Vega, Gregory Charles Wade, Sharifa Dominique Campbell Walker, Emily E. Wang, Stephanie Marie Wedlake, Sarah Jean Wells, Zainab Adamide Williams, Otanthea Simone Williams Brady, Jennifer Lynn Wright, I would now like to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Halima Abdel-Jabbar, Andrea Diane Adamo, Benjamin Frank Aguilar, Nashiya Sarwar Ahmed, Brandon John Ackerman, Leslie Ann Alanis, Kylene Anna Albright, Angia Alnor Ali, Allah O Alquam, Elahe Keline Amigi, Elise Anderson, Sarah Lagaya Anderson, Ashley Kate Aquino, Martin Arago, Karina Arrojo, Kelly Jean Ascom, Carly Rose Asaklis, Kim Diane Awadala, Justine Louise Badalamenti, Caitlin Jean Baker, Denise Ann Bakerjees, Morgan Banisic, Dansoa Bando, Douglas Lee Barnett, Jamie Marie Veroya Barron, Kelly Jean Berry, Anindo Basu, Mary Catherine Batrick, Ariane C. Bautista, Jenny Ann Bayan, Kitsy Ariana Becerril Romero, Adrienne Nicole Beckler, Sarah Christine Becker, Odette Benitez. Jennifer Lee Benson. Scott Norman Benson. Holly Jean Benkowski. Danielle Bergman. Ryan Michael Bergstrom. Margaret Ann Berry. Claire Betancourt. Zachary Bills. Lauren Lee Black. Kylie Elizabeth Blaisdell. Svetlana Bogdanova. Michael Boozy, cum laude. Diana Bosniak-Bores, magna cum laude. Jenna Bozek. Matthew James Bozasevich. Reagan Page Brandt. Bailey Brashler, magna cum laude. Kaylee Braun. Hillary Ann Brawley. Ebony Starr Brown. Leo J. Brown. Alexandra K. Brizis. Stephen Joseph Bukowskis, cum laude. Brittany Nicole Barali. Kimberly Marie Berta. Kelly Burling. Piper Ellen Burnside. Michael Butkowitz. Carol Bidos. Michaela Joyce Byrne, cum laude. Yuna Bayan. Monica Paloma Cabrera. Michelina H. Cafaro. Sarah Rose Kaliskin. Michaela Caneless. Gabrielle Rose Lynn Cantley. Megan Mary Carden. Vanessa Cardona Rodriguez. Selena M. Carl. Joseph Michael Carney. Brett Anthony Corallo. Allison Marie Caraher. Jocelyn Carrera, Dolores Yvette Carrillo, Monica Ann Carson, Christopher Katanak, Stephanie Nicole Caven, Claire Kathleen Kawine, Jeanette Catherine Ciccini, Indira Saranik, Caitlin Marie Cernick, cum laude, Nicole Chan, Nuntapan Shakaratpahu, Amber Ariana Chatta, cum laude, Jasmine Chavez, Kendall Elise Keim, Annie Yi Chen, Jenna Christine Cheswaz, Caitlin Christensen, Anjali Maria Francis Chungath, magna cum laude, Amanda Kristen Sipek, Marissa Ann Clifford, Lisa Helen Cohen, Kaylin Marie Coleman, Casey Aaron Collins, cum laude, Michelle Lee Combs, cum laude, Jennifer Lynn Condon, Stephanie Contreras, Isabella Monette Cordova, Ella C. Cousins, Colleen Jeanette Cranston, Rebecca Ray Crook, cum laude, Cara Marie Custer, Abigail W. Kwaklinski, KT M. Chopkovich, Jenna Rose Dalton, Radia Dodd, Adriana Marie Daler, Daisy Della Torre, Rachel Lynn DeGraff, Mora Nayeli Del Toro, Joseph A. Di Maria, Ann E. Dennett, Nicola Ann DiPinto, Christina Ariana Durrat, Nicole M. Devereaux, Alexis D. Diaz, Amanda Rose Didiana, magna cum laude, Sarah Nicole DiMano, Delaney Catherine Deneen, Stephanie Ann Damagola, Caitlin C. Dowdall, Bethany Joy Driggers, Kathleen M. Duffy, Christy Nicole Dyer, Sally R. Eilerman, Amanda Jasmine Ellis, Brittany Ellsbury, Diego Enriquez, Ian Christian Espiritu, Karina Mena Esquivel, Renee Lynn Evans, Stephanie Evans, Daniela Dolores Falco, Abriana Marie Falico, Brett Lawrence Farahar, Deborah Feingold Fisher, Joseph Anthony Ferraro III, cum laude, Cameron James Ferrier, Natalie Larice Finn, Lauren Ashley Finnegan, Alexandria Ann Fisher, Brianna Fleming Wright, Anna Elizabeth Fluent, Caitlin Nicole Foote, Margaret Elizabeth Franklin, Michaela Maria Franzese, Madison Jean Freeman, Melina Linnell Freeman Maez, Grace Maureen Gallagher, Vernice Gallegos, Radhika Gandhi, Hubert Gawin, Kelsey Elizabeth Guyman, Daniela Giovanna Gentile, Nicole Marie Germino, Jenny Pearl Mendoza Gerodius, Mary Rose L. Gassan, Jenna Guile, Ricky Gilman, Megan Ginn, Raquel Glass, Stephen Godbout, Audrey Blaine Godnick, Tricia Christine Goder, Melissa Marie Goldberg, Tracy A. Gongora, Daniel Graham, magna cum laude, Ariana Amanda Gray, cum laude, Stephanie Nicole Gregor, Zachary M. Grocky, Anne Elizabeth Grogan, Katarzyna Slała Grojek, Catherine Antonia Gruber, Alejandra Isabel Guevara Ailman, Hope Cruz Gutierrez, Rebecca Murphy Haas, Mandy A. Hall, Natalie Ann Heyman, Madeline Claire Hamilton, magna cum laude, Maureen Renee Hampton, Corey John Harner, Megan Renee Harrison, Jessica Ann Hartley, Dana Ann Heckinger, Demi Heiss, Elizabeth Ann Hetzinger, Nina Lauren Helmuth, Brittany Amber Hermosillo, Lorena Hernandez Ochoa, Joshua Vincent Higgins, Kayla Elizabeth Higley, Asia Sade Hill, Jacqueline Page Hill, Jonna Nicole Hobson, Janine Francine Hogarth, Lydia M. Holmes, Maggie Christine Holtz, Ricky Page Hopkins, Sarah Bohm Horton, Caitlin Nicole Hunt, Magdalena Hunt, Bria Hyde, Shadi Ibrahim, Pedro Irizarry Plaza, Madeline Isobal, Emily Jakubowski, Isamar Jamaica, Natalie Jansky, Kimberly A. Jerzak, Nicole L. Jaros, cum laude, Soonjai Jung, Darlene Jobin, Sophia Rose Johnson, Trent Davis Johnson, John Emmons Jones, Alyssa Nicole Jordan, Christina Jean Kalinowski, Dave Kapoor, Taylor Channing Carpelis, Nolawit Mengisti Kabede, Jordan Ashley Kite, Claire Celeste Kern, Olivia Marie Kiefhaber, Anne Marie Chieta, Michelle Kim, Emily Elizabeth Kirk, Brianna Klaus, Danielle J. Klein, Maria Mar Klingelhofer, Kirsten Mary Klink, Natalie Lee Klosek, Aaron Koch, Heather Kelly Koken, Simone Colades, Maya Kostic, Zeel Amit Kotari, Katrina Ashley Kowal, Martina Julia Kowalchuk, Claudia Koziel, Allison Ann Kozak, Madeline Kramer, Abigail Elizabeth Kuhn, Jennifer Kunstman, magna cum laude, Caroline Rose Kurkowski, Lauren Nicole Kaczynski, Molly Ann Ladewig, cum laude. Corey Lamb, Vivian Lamb, Jessica Marie Lamb, Taylor K. Langendorfer, Anastasia Laniewski, Christopher Lara, Catherine Ann Lariah, Angela Lekowitz, Joanne Ledesma, Elise Christine Lee, Ryan Thomas Lemire, Daniel R. Lentz, Clara Elizabeth Lerner, Gabrielle M. Lesniak, Allison Listina, Maeve McGovern Lurk, Patrick Levy, Monica Go Lim, Eric Matthew Limberg, Jessica C. Lynn, Sharon Liu, magna cum laude, James Lotz, Nikita Lukos, Jesse Phillips Lyons, Ava Jerry Mack, Samantha Marie Marr, Marissa Catherine Malincrot, Jeremy Ian Manalanson, David John Mancini, Esther Manley, Taylor Lauren Markinich, Jillian R. Marin, Alexis Ann Martino, magna cum laude, Nora Catherine Masterson, Rita Elizabeth Moraes, Jennifer Elizabeth Mayfield, Jordan Lee McFarland, Nicole Marie McGarrell, Aaron M. McGovern, Caitlin McKee, Shay Lee McKenna, Bethzeda Medina, Dara Mehta, Michaela Lynn Malone, Taylor Marie Maroney, Peyton Haley Michaels, Kayla Faye Milham Breedlove, cum laude, Jeannie Miller, magna cum laude, Abigail Lynn Miner, magna cum laude, Emily M. Minecci, Jasmine Michaela Mirabelli, Therese Mirasol, Craig Julian Morey, magna cum laude, Courtney Ann Morgan, cum laude, Madison R. Moser, Diana Merkayak, Frances Ann Mullenix, magna cum laude, Allison Munoz, cum laude, Grace Slager Murphy, Michaela Grace Murphy, Carmela Rose Murray, Katie Lucinda Murray, Hannah Muscat, Anna Muzupapa, Amer Abdelaziz Natour, Sonia Sue Naughton, Megan Marie Nader, Mary Margaret Nelson, Sarah Elizabeth Nevels, Patrick Nolan, Julia Ann Norlag, Myred Tierney Nordley, Veronica Norca, Melanie Brooke Norman, Caitlin Ann Novak, Madeline Page Ocampo, Elizabeth Colleen O'Gara, Darvia Kennedy Okoro Igwe, Madeline Grace Orth, summa cum laude, Rachel Adelia Overvig, cum laude, Audrey Lynn Pietz, Conrad Pankowitz, Ioana Panayota Papadias, Jason Papchik, Taylor N. Pape, Maya Rain Parks, Mia Elizabeth Pastelaqua, Anmol Suryakant Patel, Dominique Del Grosso Patel, Karina Bharat Patel, Priyanka Alicia Patel, Shrina B. Patel, Emma Jean Peterson, Abigail Lara Petrovich, Julia Lauren Pickham, David Benjamin Peary, Jacqueline Elena Dorrigan Pilato, Gabrielle Alexis Pineda, Catherine Elizabeth Pinella, Stephanie Lene Paneo, Stephen Robert Podwoyski, Tiffany Grace Pony Creamer, Nicholas Alexander Poppernick, Nicole Elizabeth Porter, Alexandra Procor, Lilia Pytel, Shannon M. Quigley, Ma Adelma Bonsol Ragudo, Marco Alexis Ragudo, Shagufta S. Rahman, Abigail Rose Ralph, Armando Ramirez, Rita Raymont, Anna Catherine Reedy, Austin Dwayne Regal, Paula K. Revis, Jennifer Lynn Rewa, Carly Rieger, Victoria Diane Riggs, Joseph Alden Roach, Molly Francis Rogan, David Romano, Morgan Ron, Janet Ross, Becca Diane Rubright, Emily Sue Russell, magna cum laude, Emma Rose Rust, Jenna Claire Ryerson, Joseph J. Regula, Andra Sabu, Roxanne Salas, Emily Ann Sanders, Carlos Santana Jr., Alexis Zafra Santos, Anastasia Sapatinska, Elise Tatiana Carol Sartori, Alexandria Isabella Scheidecker, Kelly Kennedy Schreiber, Michelle Joy Schreiber, Lauren Connor Schroyer, Jessica N. Shuck, Samuel Joseph Schultz, Melissa Schumacher, Mackenzie Michelle Shamgoshen, Diana Shimon, Abigail Grace Shanahan, Jamie Lauren Shapiro, Namita Shanoy, Madeline Claire Sheridan, Kristen P. Shakani, Nubil Siddiqui, Leanne Sirzega, Rosalie Mary Simovic, Monique Olivia Simpson, Bogdan Sinkovich, Philippa Alice Skidmore, Rachel Celine Smetana, magna cum laude, Amanda Rose Smigla, cum laude, Isabel Adair Smith, Leah Catherine Smith, Violetta Dominica Sochaki, Ajay Matthew Solomon, Natalie N. Sumpoundpukti, magna cum laude, Sylvia Angelica Staseluk, cum laude, Colleen Marie Staunton, Julie Ann Steck, Courtney Jean Stevens, Lynette Stout, Annetta Strama, Jennifer Ann Strassnyder, Kellyanne Swerth, Jessica Nell Svebeck, Carrie Bernardine Swain, Courtney Sophia Scarlett, Megan Marie Zergat, Allison Marie Talkin, Rebecca M. Tallis, Wyman Tam, Annetta Tankula, Antonia Todorova Teneva, Stephanie Telez, Meredith Audrey Thane, Michelle Tang, Kirsten Angela Thompson, Alexandra Thumb, Claire Tinley, Jenna Lauren Tobillo, Jessie Lorraine Todd, Rachel Rose Todd, Michaela Ann Tolan, cum laude, Madeline M. Tomashko, David Topolewski, Erlinda Tran, Jasmine Alexa Trinos, Elizabeth Grace Troiano, Aaron Trowbridge, Krista Trumpf, Alyssa Marie Tufto, Emily Therese Tunney, Cynthia Uloa, Abby Marie Youthy, magna cum laude, Rebecca Jean Van Auken, Marnie Faith Vanderkar, Jessie Lynn Van Donkelaar, Mary Madeline Beltz, Cynthia Yang Veith, Francesca Dawn Valeri, Sabrina Amreen Varani, cum laude, Dana Alison Vitug, Kristen M. Walden, Tabitha Rose Walters, Nicole B. Wasowitz, Daniel James Wedge, Melissa J. Wenzel, Anne Marie Werner, Tiffany M. West, Courtney V. Weschelitz, cum laude, Bridget Haley White, Kira Lindsay Whittier, Francis M. Williams, Emily Christine Wilson, Shanira Renee Wilson, Brittany Marie Winkle, Josie Ann Witt, Christy Janae Wittenberg, Jennifer M. Wojak, Amy Olivia Wollenberg, Magdalena Agnieszka Woziwoda, Alexandria Marie Wright, Sarah Anders Kensky Wright, Ashley Divers Worst, Patricia M. Zayak, Emma Rose Sheehan Zara, Annalie M. Zaragoza, Ryan Robert Zay, Jessica Zahner, Lauren M. Zielinski, Rian Zuccarino Crow, Cassandra Marie Zulke, Myra Zuniga, magna cum laude, Sarah Zwickel,